Meeting the Social and Emotional Needs of Gifted Learners by Leah JoJo Stevens. Would you send your child to a piano instructor to teach them how to play the violin? No, they're both instruments, but very different in how to play them. How about a soccer coach to play baseball? Again, no. The same goes for teaching gifted students. Most gifted and talented students spend their entire school day in a regular classroom. The teachers are caring and well trained, but not trained on how to differentiate for the gifted child. Not only that, but also just as important, the regular classroom teachers do not have the information on how to understand and meet the social and emotional needs. Many classroom teachers are only familiar with the stereotypical gifted child who excels in school, is well behaved, and a natural leader. Those in the gifted community know this is so often not the case. Yet school districts allow our gifted children to go to school each day to teachers who have no prior gifted education on how to meet their needs. How to alleviate this problem? Teacher education. All teachers should be required to attend a gifted studies professional development. Therefore, every teacher, not just the gifted teacher, understands the unique needs of the gifted and talented child. Recognizing the behaviors of the gifted child is important for all teachers to understand. Teachers trained in the gifted studies understand that some behaviors can be a direct result of boredom and being under challenged. Sometimes students are labeled ADHD or even a behavior problem. They may also be labeled as lazy or disorganized, but in reality, they are just not being challenged. Without training our regular classroom teachers to recognize this and these behaviors, the gifted child is not given a chance to thrive in their classroom. Most districts have a gifted pull-out program. These programs cannot always be relied upon for usually reasons beyond the gifted and talented teacher's control. The teacher many times is the only person in the district with a gifted learner's degree. So that means it is up to the regular classroom teacher to meet the gifted students' needs daily. Again, most gifted students spend their entire school day in a regular classroom. To meet the needs of our gifted students, it is critical that all teachers be able to identify, recognize, and meet their needs. Now let's examine more carefully the social and emotional needs of the gifted learner. What more can we do to meet their needs? Educators need to identify and understand the intensities that the gifted learner can demonstrate. Gifted learners are more aware, more stimulated, and more affected by their surroundings. They feel things with great intensity and experience the world in a different way. These intensities can make it difficult for students to work within the confines of their classroom. When teachers and the students themselves are aware of these causes, they can explore solutions. There are 5 intensities, or they're also called overexcitabilities, that a gifted child can exhibit: psychomotor, sensual, intellectual, imaginational, and emotional. The first of the 5 intensities mentioned is psychomotor. This is basically an abundance of energy or even nervous energy. These are the students that appear to have too much energy. These students could seem fidgety, they talk excessively, and have overactive behaviors. They could also demonstrate nail biting, have tics, or even impulse control. Does this sound a lot like ADHD? It definitely could be misidentified as such. By hearing all of this, have you possibly identified a student that you know or misidentified? Misidentification can be a problem because a gifted child's intensity can easily resemble ADHD. If the intense behaviors only occur in certain situations, but not in others, for example, at school, but not at home, or at church, but not at music lessons, the child is likely not suffering from ADHD. The next intensity is sensual intensity. This is a sensitivity to their 5 senses. These students may show a strong reaction to sounds, lights, textures, taste. This could create a positive reaction from the student. For example, a type of cloth that they rub that soothes them in order to relax or to go to sleep. There could also be a negative reaction to the point of avoiding the stimuli. Sensual intensities are often overwhelming and distracting for the student. Intellectual intensity can be shown by intellectual achievements, academic interest, and even to the pursuit of truth. Do you know a student who is curious? They have lots of amazing questions. They understand at a higher level of thinking. They have understandings that are way beyond what you were even teaching. Then you are probably identifying an intellectual, intense, gifted learner. They dig deep into topics that interest them. They can talk about theoretical concepts. They move faster through the content than you can even handle. The next intensity is imaginational. Imaginational intensity is the talent for imagery, fantasy, and invention. These students are fueled by creativity, a love of stories, and drawings. They're interested in the fictional worlds. The student may exhibit this by daydreaming or distractibility. They may also doodle to occupy their minds while a dull teacher idles on. The last of the intensities is emotional intensity. It is the heightened sensitivity to their emotions as well as others. They seem caring and show empathy and have strong compassion. It might appear to the teacher that they are overdramatic and sometimes even attention-seeking, but they feel their emotions intensely, whether it be joy or sadness. All of these intensities can make it hard for children to learn in the classroom. Understanding a student's behavior can improve communication between the student and the teacher. If a gifted child feels criticized for intensities they cannot change, this misunderstanding can harm their self-esteem. When student intensities are handled with empathy and compassion, children learn to better cope, celebrate their strengths, and channel those intensities toward positive behaviors. If we educators learn about the characteristics of gifted learners and their intensities, we can help the students accept them as part of who they are. They will be able to better manage their feelings and feel better about themselves. Now that you know about intensities, do you recognize students in your classroom? Have you misinterpreted their behaviors? Is that problem child an actual problem? Does this information drive you to want to know more? Yes, great, because there's more. Now that you know all the importance of educators understand the needs of the gifted child and their 5 excitabilities, let's find out what we can do to help with their stress and anxiety. A gifted student may have heightened stress and anxiety. Along with the usual stresses of childhood and growing up, gifted kids have unique dilemmas which can increase their stress. Students should take work breaks and participate in a brief activity that is mentally restful or fun. We as educators need to learn how to decrease the stress and anxiety in gifted and talented students by teaching the kids relaxation strategies and techniques. Some techniques can be used in the classroom as well as out of the classroom. One technique that you can teach the students to learn they can do anywhere is breathing techniques. Deep breathing counteracts the effect of stress by slowing the heart rate and lowering the blood pressure. Breathing techniques don't have to be complicated. The most effective technique is to breathe out slowly. The effect on anxiety is almost instant. So show the students how to take a break and focus on their breathing. My favorite of the stress reducing techniques is music therapy. This is another one that can be easily incorporated into the classroom and out. Most kids today have personal electronic devices. Why not use it to relax yourself? Music reduces stress and has numerous health benefits. Music can shift your focus away from stressful events to something that is pleasant and soothing. It basically serves as a distraction. It also triggers the brain to release endorphins, which enhance a sense of well-being. So the right music can relax your body and calm your mind. Another stress-relieving technique is yoga. Yoga joins your body and mind by increasing your body awareness. It is a popular method of stress relief among all age groups. Remember, the teacher should be flexible in the classroom in order to meet the needs of gifted students. No need to be alarmed when you see a student in a yoga pose. They are probably just stressed. Yoga is non-competitive where children can cheer on one another as they learn techniques. As a result, it's a great way for children to raise their self-confidence and improve self-esteem. It creates a calm environment and encourages community in the classroom. So who's ready for yoga class now? I know I am. The next de-stressing technique is actually foods. Certain foods can actually benefit with de-stressing. Nutritious foods regulate your body chemistry and keeps you functioning at your sharpest. Students need to learn what foods they enjoy that can decrease stress. Yes, I said foods that they enjoy. No one wants to eat something they do not like. That would just create more stress, and that's what we're trying to avoid here. The last technique is probably going to be the student's least favorite. Unplug, shut down, and log off digital devices to decrease stress. Smartphones can actually increase stress. Students do not have to give up on their smartphones forever, but start logging off in small spurts. If you encourage the various techniques we have discussed, then chances are gifted learners are already naturally on their way to logging off their devices more. Consequently, many parents of gifted children are also unaware of how to help their child in their social and emotional needs. Teachers and parents need to work together in the best interest of their child. We as teachers need to show parents some ways to discuss anxieties with them at home. What can parents do to help with anxiety? Well, avoid saying, "Don't worry about it." The anxiety is very real to them, and telling them not to worry about it can actually make them feel belittled. Acknowledge the gifted child's fears and validate their concerns. If not, they could become anxious over their anxieties. Avoid threatening them with negative consequences. Gifted children already put so much pressure on themselves. Threatening them with negative consequences can only compound their anxiety and shove them farther away from attaining their success and happiness. Showing empathy toward their worries and fears is essential. Parents can do this by sitting down with their children, talk about their fears and anxieties, and help their child gain some control over them. And as always, if a child's anxiety is causing significant issues in their life, please seek a mental health professional. It is imperative to meet the needs of gifted students daily. That's why it's so crucial that all teachers are educated on the needs of gifted learners. You at some point will have a gifted child in your classroom. If all teachers are aware of the likelihood of intensities in gifted students, this could help identify their giftedness. All teachers learning to recognize the characteristics of a gifted child, identifying and understanding their intensities, and meeting the needs to decrease stress and anxiety is a step toward meeting their social and emotional needs. We need to make sure these kids feel supported and understood. Remember, when children have a better chance at outcomes, our entire society benefits from it. After all, our gifted students with intensities have the drive and potential to solve all our world's problems.